Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make a modern house. Begin by placing a smooth quartz stairs, and then an upside down one behind it, one on top, one behind, one on top, one behind, and then one on top. What we then want to do is extend all of these smooth quartz stairs across. So not only is that for the regular way ones, but also the upside down ones as well. Then we want to place smooth quartz block behind the top set of stairs. Extend the smooth quartz right by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then extend backwards by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Extend right by 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we can extend down number 1 just to kind of give us an idea of what we're building, the sort of shape that we're building up to. But also extend backwards by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then extend to the right by 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And once again, to kind of establish a bit of a shape that isn't just a line in the sky, join down to the ground. So the next thing that I want to do is I want to take the last row that we made. We want to not take the last block, but the 1, 2, 3 rows left of it, extend it up by 3, 1, 2, 3, extend left 3, 1, 2, 3, join down, then extend forwards by 2 rows, 1, 2, and then extend left by 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, place a grey concrete on the end, extend forwards by 2, 1, 2, up by 1, and then left by 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, this might be seemingly random, but we can easily put this together and we can turn it into the second story of our house. So, the way that we're going to do that is, first of all, we are going to join this corner over here across and forwards to the set of stairs that we made earlier. This is going to establish where the floor level for our house is. So this is the second floor. The house is divided into 2 different levels. Of course, we've got the ground and then this one. And we want the second story, of course, just to join it down onto the giant platform that we've just made. So we want to start on the right side here, and we will join these 2 rows of quartz down to the platform. We then want to leave a gap of 2, and then place another row of quartz joining down, or up, depending on how you look at it. Leave a gap of 1, and then join the rest of the row of quartz downwards. We want to then take the grey concrete area just to the left here, and join it down. Also, we want to join the left side of the grey concrete row down to the ground as well. And you can fill this in using either blue glass or light blue glass. They're my two preferences. So we're also going to do it for this little window here, and if you like, you can also do it for one side of this doorway, if you do so choose. Speaking of turning parts of this build into actual house features, down below here, we want to join the corner of this area down to just create a rectangular shape. And then we want to join the bottom of the rectangle together, and we want to create a split in the bottom of it that is equal to the two windows that we have above, to which we then of course just want to fill these in with our glass of choice. Directly to the left here, we want to add 2 rows of smooth quartz joining up/down, and this is going to be a little overhang for our pool area. We'll tackle that a little bit later on, but we can install a little window. It's going to be about 3 blocks long, so 1, 2, 3, and we'll fill this in using smooth quartz, and then we just want to add glass on top, so just like this. Perfect. So this is looking pretty good so far. The last thing that I want to accomplish is I want to seal this area up here on the left. So on the right side of the build, but the left side of the right side, we want to fill this up using quartz. We want to leave enough room on the right side of this little area here to have a 2x2 entrance. And then the rest of this simply just wants to be filled in using the quartz. So the first thing that we're going to do on this side is we are going to extend this vertical row of quartz backwards by 4 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we are going to build these up to the height of the row of quartz just here. Then we're going to take this upper area of quartz, place a grey concrete out of the back corner, extend right 2, 1, 2, up 1, and extend left 1, 2, 3, just like this. So we want to essentially have a row of 4, and it wants to be 1 row higher than the surrounding area. And we can extend this down as well to where it would comfortably just sit here. And we're going to extend the entire side of this out the back 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So just this entire side, it wants to supersede the quartz that we have just down below. And we're even going to join it down to the ground as well. We can take the top here and extend it across by 3. 1, 2, 3. And then down by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to extend to the right by 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Just like this. And then we can join it down to the ground once again. And then we can start working on this side. So on this side of the build, we want to come towards the front. And we want to take the first upside down stair that we have here. Place a grey concrete on the side and extend up by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Extend back by 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Down by 2. 1, 2. And then extend backwards. We should join back to here. What we then want to do is we want to take the side of this window area here, the entire side, this row of 4, and we want to extend it all back. So it's up to you whether you want to extend it back so that it sits on top of the grey concrete, or perhaps an additional row, but as long as the end result looks roughly like this, everything should be good. So on the back of the build, we also want to take the top of the row of the shape that we've made. We want to extend this backwards. And we will also want to extend the inside of it backwards as well. So we're not just focusing on the outside of the grey concrete shape, but we also want to take the inside and extend it back. And as I said, it's up to you whether you think it'll be better to line this up with the back of the build, because it's something that I'm wondering myself, or whether you do want to knock it one row inwards. I'll let you decide. So the next thing that we're going to do is we want to emulate the shape of the white concrete area that we have on the front but on the back. So this basically means that one row inwards from the grey concrete on the back, we want to construct a smooth quartz rectangle that, as I mentioned, is simply just, it's basically the same, it's just set one row inwards and it's the same height. And we want to copy the window shape that we have on the front as well. So we will want to have the exact same 2x2 window here on the left, and then a 1x2 just one row away from it. And down below, where we have the grey concrete, we actually want to also have the same window structure, and this is very reminiscent of what we have on the front as well. Then I would make it so that the entire back is filled in using grey concrete. We're kind of at a point where we can mass fill in this build. We do still have a lot of features to add, but especially with the back and the sides, we are primarily done. So we also have to fill these windows in using glass as well, just as we have done on the front. On this side, we have yet to fill all of this wall in using grey concrete. It's important that this gets filled in, as in the interior, we are going to have a kitchen. And there's going to, we could even actually make room for some windows, but that's something that I would like to do after the interior has been made. So as we take a little look around our build, I think that we're coming to the realization that we just have the roof to do. The roof is relatively simple in that we basically just want to connect the front and the back part together. So wherever you may have the smooth quartz, fill the build-in using smooth quartz, and wherever you have grey concrete, fill it in using grey concrete front to back. It should almost fill itself in, really, just like this. So the next thing that I would like to do is I would like to add an entire flooring for the second floor. We already did this a little bit at the beginning. In the beginning of the build, we added a little bit of quartz just to kind of connect some parts of the house down. But now it's time that we actually have an entire second floor, like this. Later on, we will also turn the entire inside of the house into oak planks, but we'll do that in a little bit. So, this is what we're left with for the moment, and I'm pretty happy with it. Our next job is going to be for us to kind of set out the outside area. So, on the right side of the build, we are going to extend the literal just bottom right side of the build all the way out to the near boundary. It wants to be one row short of the stairs that we have over there. We also, speaking of stairs, want to have a pathway leading up to this little 2-block area here. This is going to be made using oak stairs, well, oak stairs and of course upside down oak stairs, to which I'm sure that in a second I'm actually going to have a problem adding some upside down stairs. So hang on, there we go, we managed to hit that angle perfectly. So, we also want to destroy in front of these stairs outwards, and it wants to join to the right here where we have this wall. So all of this grass we can dig up, and we can replace it using the oak planks. So it's kind of going to just be like an outdoor / decking area. And once this has all been filled in using oak planks, and remember the oak planks only come as far as this wall here. Left of this, we want to have another little boundary. It's going to be about 5 rows long. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if you use some smooth quartz slabs, and then on the end here, we're going to dig into the ground and place some oak stairs, like this. Next, I have to create the boundaries for the pool. I'm going to take the end of the smooth quartz slab area here and dig all the way to the left and replace it using smooth quartz. It might be a little bit easier for context if I just destroy the white concrete in front. And now we have to dig out enough space for a pool. So we actually have to dig 2 rows down, and I'm going to expedite this process with a tiny little bit of World Edit. And hopefully, as I'm not too familiar with World Edit, this will not destroy part of the house. Perfect. We have just managed to dig down. That's excellent. So the pool line will be here, extending over there. So that's perfect. So if we extend from here to here, orange, glazed, perfect. So all we have to do is just put some water on this. We could even make the pool a little bit taller, but I actually quite like having a bit of a deep pool. And the rest of this we'll just do manually. So basically, all we wanted to do was just dig out this entire area, and it's a little bit of a weird shape, this entire area, so that we are able to fill it in with water, like this. And we are also going to have to dig underneath certain rows. So where we have the grey concrete area here, we want to dig down, replace it with grey concrete. On the front where we have the quartz, we want to replace it with, well, quartz. And I want the pool to be lined with the orange glazed terracotta, or as I like to call it, perhaps undeservedly, because now that I'm getting a real good look at it, now that I'm on PC, it kind of looks like a moth instead of a Nemo. So we're going to extend the oak planks down, and that just wants to be filled in with water. That's why we always bring a trusty water bucket. Just as easy. So, as I mentioned, this is the pool. We have 2 ways to get in it. We have these stairs here, but it would also be nice if we had a set of stairs leading into the pool here. So, if we place some oak planks with some oak stairs around like this, and if we just, I don't know whether I like it to be floating like that or whether I want to join it down to the ground. Both options are just fine. And now we have multiple ways to get into the pool, which I'm pretty happy about. Whilst we are in the process of deleting and replacing things, if we come inside and we just make this grass here, hopefully I won't make too much of a mess of this. Now, if we replace and not set grass blocked to oak planks, perfect. I also want to just replace these smooth quartz blocks using oak planks as well. And we're really getting to the point where most of this is looking very, very finished. We also want to add a little bit of a balcony to the outer part of the second story of our house. This is just going to be some glass pane, just like this. We have also inadvertently created a trench at the front of the build, which we can fix with a little bit of grass, and here as well if we want to. We also want to add a little bit of greenery to the build, and we need some oak trapdoors, some oak fence, some oak leaves, some poppies, and that might do. So leaves are going to be placed on the side here where we have these slabs. We're also going to use a mixture of fence and leaves on the side of the build to create just some plants like this, just some bushes or shrubs or trees. We're also going to place poppies in front of the build as well. So this is primarily just in front of the pool like this. It kind of draws your eye, I think, hopefully to these stairs, but it also might be a little bit much. I don't know whether I like this feature, but oak trapdoors above the lower half of the windows, I don't know whether I like that better or worse. I have also placed doors in pretty much most, but well, everywhere that we've got an entrance except the balcony, I've kind of opted to place doors, but I don't know if I actually like the build better without them. There's also an option to kind of like make this door a bit more interesting on the second story by extending the grey concrete down on the inside so it kind of completes this shape, and then setting the door one row backwards. That I actually do quite like. It might also be quite cool to add some plants onto the second story here, because it's something that you probably wouldn't be expecting. It adds a little bit more green to the build. And in doing that, we have finished the outside of the build, which of course only leaves the inside. So now we get to head inside and we get to turn this into a lovely functional house. The first room inside the house is a small living room. If we begin by connecting this quartz wall here to the back of the build, leaving enough space that we are able to walk in and out of the room, I think I'll actually set the doorway just to the left here. We can then fill up the room with some bookshelves in the corner here, extending up to the ceiling. We can add a TV on the wall, which I'm going to use black concrete and dark oak trapdoors underneath. A small coffee table using polished black stone slabs and some polished black stone stairs for a little bit of a sofa. You could have a small window here, or alternatively, you could also have a little picture. So a 1x1 would actually fit this perfectly nicely, just right in the middle there. And now we are going to move through into the kitchen. So for the kitchen, we are going to, next to this doorway here, leave a gap of 1 and then place 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 light grey concretes. Then we are going to take the middle 3 light grey concretes here. We want to leave a gap of 1. And the center concrete, we want to place a cauldron where the center concrete is, leaving a gap of 1. And then light grey concretes either side. Extend a row backwards, and this is going to be the kitchen island. We're going to place an entire row of light grey concrete opposite this, against this wall. That's going to be a set of cabinets. We want to have a fridge against this wall here. That is a 2x3 row of black concrete, and we're going to use an end rod as a door handle. Speaking of end rods, we want to have a couple of chairs, or maybe even 3 chairs, here against the breakfast bar. We're going to place white carpets on top of the end rods, and those will function nicely as chairs. So this area here is an island, and we have a sink. So I'm going to place a lever here. This is going to be one of the sink controls. On this back wall, I'm going to place a couple of black shulker boxes to emulate cupboards. I'm going to use lanterns in the ceiling above the breakfast bar here. So where we don't have chairs on that side, I'm going to have lanterns hanging from the ceiling on this side. Blast furnaces are going to be used for ovens, and we can place these pretty much wherever. So perhaps one here against this wall, and we might even make it a double oven, so it could be too high or it could be too wide. I'll let you decide. So we also just need a few other things to finish this off. So we'll need a detector rail, polished blackstone pressure plate, brewing stand, flower pot. We'll be using a stone brick wall, button, and some red carpet, some white carpet. We'll even need some grey concrete as well. So the stone brick wall is to go with the sink, as is the polished blackstone button. And then on this counter here, we're going to place a brewing stand and a flower pot. And for the oven, we're going to have a detector rail and a blackstone pressure plate on top. It just makes it look more oveny. That is a word, by the way. Feel free to look it up. We're also going to place a pantry So the pantry is in this back corner wall here. We leave a gap of 2 and place a row of 3 grey concrete extending out from the wall like this. Join it together at the top. Perfect. So against the pantry wall here, we want to have a little dining set. So that's made using quartz stairs, some light grey concrete, we'll even use some bookshelves, maybe a flower pot, some end rods, some glazed terracotta, maybe a chest, and maybe some paintings. We might even use some lanterns as well. So for the dining table, it's just a couple of smooth quartz stairs, a couple of rows of grey concrete in front, quartz stairs on the opposite side, bookshelves above the table. We can decorate the table with a flower pot to make it seem as though that people are actually drinking. This table is being used. And we are also going to place a couple of end rods extending outwards diagonally from the table with a glazed grey terracotta on top to just look like a lamp. Then a couple of chests just here in the corner, those are a bit ambiguous. We can even use chests in the pantry if you like, maybe 1 or 2 of them, maybe one up above here. And we can even decorate the area as well with some paintings. So we're going to have to be a little bit choice about this. Anywhere that we have a painting, I would also recommend a window as well, so whichever you might prefer. Like, here wouldn't be a bad idea either. We could even have a couple of paintings. And once again, whenever I see a place for a painting, I do also consider that a window actually wouldn't look bad there either. So a lantern would actually light up this table nicely and accentuate it. And the living room is a little bit dark also, so you may want to perhaps hang a lantern in here. We could even place a lamp in the corner as well, but it depends how much you want to repeat yourself. But I do think it kind of adds a nice chill vibe in here. So moving on, I'm not 100% certain whether I want to have a carpet in here. Originally, or rug made out of carpets actually. So originally I was going to have a red and white carpet, but it just doesn't seem to fit. But what might fit is kind of a collage of grey and white. Maybe something like this. I actually sort of like that. It's also a little bit of a different shape. It kind of breaks things up a little bit. You could also use the corals as well to kind of create... Is it coral? I think it is. Yeah, you could also, of course, use the corals to kind of create a bit of a carpet texture as well. I don't think everybody likes this, though. All you would have to do is replace the blocks underneath it, like maybe with some white concrete. We might even take a look at that ourselves, see if that looks any better. I'm not sure whether I like it myself, but that does give the effect of like a shaggy carpet. So I'll leave it up to you whether you like that. You can even vary it with different corals if you like, but it might just not be for me. So we have a pantry here in the corner. It's up to you how you want to lay it out, but I think a couple of scaffolding with perhaps an item frame hidden in the back with an apple or any sort of produce looks pretty good. We can even stack a couple of chests up at the top, and we could place, say, like a pumpkin here with like a sea pickle on top to actually make it look like a pumpkin. And we could even install a shelf in here as well, actually. That might be a really nice setup. Yeah, that looks great. So we've got the pumpkin, we've got the shelves, we've got the item frame, we've got the chest. I really like how that comes together. And if we just stick a couple of spruce doors, then that is very pantry looking. With downstairs done, we can move upstairs and we can make the bedroom, closet, and bathroom. So first of all, directly to the right of this entrance here, I want to make a closet. I'm going to begin by limiting the amount of space inside of it, and I'm also going to bring it 1 row forward like this, so it's basically just a 2x2 square space. Or we can set it 1 row backwards and we can place the doors 1 row in. So basically what I'm getting at is inside the closet I only want to have a 1 row area to deal with, so it's up to you how you want to deal with that yourself. Inside of here we're going to have just simply an armor stand, we'll have a dark oak trapdoor, and we'll also have a lantern just to light the closet. If you wanted to, of course, you can fill it with other things, but this is what I'm going with. So for the rest of the bedroom here, we may have to elongate this wall, actually. So we might have to just extend this wall inwards a little bit. Then, against the newly extended wall, we can place a couple of light grey concrete, say flower pot here, a poppy here, a lantern here to keep it nice and bright. Then, a double red bed with dark oak trapdoors flipped up on the end. It looks like a nice fancy bed now. And then, in the opposite side of the room here, we're going to have to grab some stuff. We need black concrete paintings, bookshelves, and some dark oak trapdoors, and well, that's pretty much it for this room. It doesn't require much building at all. So against this wall, I just want to have a set of bookshelves here because they always look nice. In the middle of this wall, a couple of black concretes with dark oak trapdoors underneath. And then it's up to you whether you want to put something on the TV. I do not like that painting with shaders. That's nice. That's quite nice. It's meant to be a TV, and I think it helps to brighten the room a little bit. If we wanted to add a little bit of a carpet/rug, this would be the area to do it, wouldn't it, really? So instead of going for kind of like the shaggy carpet that we have down below, why don't we just go for a good old-fashioned carpet square like this? I think that looks quite nice. We want to have access to the bathroom from the bedroom, so that is literally just through here. This is going to be the bathroom. I'm realizing that we are missing a window. So, on this side of the room, where we did just have the grey concrete, we've knocked that out, 2x3 row, just like this. I don't want it to go straight down to the ground. So, in this room, we are going to work from the front backwards. I'm going to leave a gap of 1 from this wall and then place an upside down smooth quartz stair, tripwire hook on top with a light grey carpet on top of that. A couple of light grey concretes extending from the upside down quartz with a couple of light grey shulker boxes on the wall next to the carpet. A flower pot here and a lantern here for light, and this of course could be for a toothbrush pot or something similar. Then against this wall here, we need a toilet, so that is going to be a cauldron with a dark oak trapdoor, either up or down on the toilet, that's up to you. I think that we'll even add water to this toilet as well whilst we're at it. There we go, lovely. So on this wall, we'll place a stone button, an item frame behind it, and then either white banner hanging down from this, or it might look a little bit better with some white wool. White wool might actually be superior. I think that I like that a little bit better. So there we have a nice little toilet. So next up, we are going to make the bath. The bath is in the end of the room. So we basically just need to have 1 row away from the window, upside down smooth quartz stairs in front, tripwire hook hanging off the wall here. And then if we were to grab a couple of end rods, some candles work nicely for this as well. And it's up to you what colour banners you want to use. I'm a little bit torn on it, so I'll give you the option. What I'm not torn on is, although the colour of the candles is up for debate, but candles I think make good looking like bottles of sorts. If you ignore the fact that they have a fuse hanging out the top of them, they kind of look like dynamite, then they are ambiguously kind of like just bottle shaped. So on this wall here, I'm going to have a towel rack. This is a couple of end rods next to each other, to which I'm going to have a couple of banners hanging off, so those can be towels. On this wall here, I feel as though it's just a good spot for just a little painting. And beyond this, if you want to fill the bath with water, you can, although nobody's in it at the moment, so unless you leave your bath just filled with water 24/7, which is a baller move, imagine the heating bill, the water bill, at the very least, then I guess it wouldn't make sense for it to be full. But this is Minecraft, and I can make as much water as I like. And that's it. I hope that you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys, hopefully, in the next one. Goodbye.